any NDA stuff, not necessarily language.
Oh, okay. Got it.
John.
Fair enough. All right, fine. I don't know why you got to warn me.
So you can't talk about how you're the new mascot, the new GW mascot.
I'm nobody's mascot.
And you have a costume and everything.
Yeah, he's the new. It's a Salty John workshop.
Yeah, that would be terrible. Nobody would want anything to do with it.
I agree.
Yeah, that would be not great. All right, so whenever you're ready, Adam, I can count us in.
Did you look over the notes?
Yeah, I have them open on one of my 47 screens.
You have 10 tabs per screen?
No. I actually downsized, and I now have one screen for the playing of the video games and just the two above.
What happened to the fourth one?
Well, Natalie got me that big widescreen monitor that showed up in the actual box for Christmas. Okay. So she's like, well, here it is, because it's sitting here on this doorstep, and you know what it is. Yeah, it's wide. It's ultra wide. It counts as two because it's ultra wide. So
those are the best gifts.
Still counts as one.
Still only counts as one. This is a good Lord of the Rings reference show. Yeah, I'm a fan of this one so far. Okay, I'm gonna count us in.
So quick introductions. No. Okay, yeah, fine.
So introductions, then the things.
Wait,
they have the show notes, right?
Yeah, I gave it to him.
Yeah, see, we're professionals.
Did we talk about the Invitational last time, or just what we expected from it?
Just what we expected from it.
Okay. I just wasn't sure. I didn't remember.
I think we talked about the results, didn't we? We did because it was the show right before. I think we did. It doesn't matter. Everybody knows the results. We don't need to talk about it.
That's fine. I mean,
I wasn't there. Screw it.
I mean, we can still talk about the. We can still. Man of the people. We can still talk about the mission. We haven't talked about the missions though, or the secondaries.
That's fine. We could briefly discuss those.
We can wait till after it comes out. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Okay.
We can wait on that one because this is the last show of the year. So I'm just going to delete it.
That's true. Last show of the year. Thank God.
Going out with a bang.
Yeah. Going out with news, like big news.
That's fine because fucking Tom was supposed to be here, and he promised he was going to be here, and then all of a sudden, my wife made plans without me, so I got to go, guys. Whatever.
Tom.
Yeah,
I hope he hears that too.
That's how it goes. What are you gonna do?
Not a very good Tom impression, though.
No,
I didn't throw enough whining into it.
Are you ready?
Yes.
All right.
I don't know, Dan. I don't know you, Dan, but I hope you don't mind.
No, it's all good.
Oh, he is.
I'm pretty easygoing.
Dan's a cool guy.
Okay.
Yeah, Dan's the man.
Yeah.
Dan's like that cool uncle that my Warhammer uncle. We'll call him that. My wunkle.
Your wunkle?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's just Dave. Yeah, of course it's weird.
I like it. Okay.
All right, whenever you're ready, John.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of TFG Radio. Tonight, we have on your screen and in your ears, if you're listening on the podcast, John, as always, on the Wheel of Steel.
Hello.
Who actually said something this time. Today, Danny is not here. He graciously made way for two of our guests. And once again, Tom is not here to finish out the year, even though he promised to be here and yet made plans to not be here. So, sure. I don't know. I'm assuming he's ducking. But tonight we have Ben Schmoller. That's how I'm going to say it.
I think it's just pronounced Schmoller.
Schmoller. I am Hispanic, so we pronounce every letter.
I feel like that's not true. I took enough Spanish.
No, it is true. In Spanish, you pronounce every letter.
Hey, English you do too. Just some of them silently pronounced.
Yeah.
There's no silence in if you know my wife, there is no silence in Spanish. We also have
comment about that
one. Because John's wife is Hispanic.
Yes. Yep. This is true.
We also have Dan Miner, who I don't know, but he seems like a good guy from what I'm told.
Hello.
We love Dan.
We're going to get to the reason they are here in a little bit. But really quick, we're going to talk about, for those that know or don't know, I was at New Orleans for the New Orleans Open for a Frontline, and we ended up having 107 people to start the tournament. We only had about 10. I think it was 10 people drop out. It was actually pretty good for that number.
Dropped out over the course of the tournament, not before it started.
Yeah, I think only 4 people dropped out between day 1 and day 2.
Nice.
And then
really
the rest of the day, like, people just dropped out. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I went to Bourbon Street, did all that fun stuff. It was very enjoyable. It's funny because it was very wet and humid on day 1, and then hot, wet and humid on day 1, and then on days 2 and 3 it was super windy, cold, and humid. So it was a lot of fun. John Lennon ended up winning with Tyranids, but only had 6 Hive Guards. So
only 6. That's like sacrilege.
I know. Everyone kept on saying 12, and Manny had 18 that one time, but he only won with 6. So, and he played against Mark Perry.
Was it like a soft meta or something? Why is there only a guy winning with 6 Hive Guards? I don't get it.
I don't know.
Reddit tells me Lennon. It has to be 18. And I'm not going to tell you what 4chan told me.
Nothing.
Something else.
Nothing is pretty accurate.
And then he played against Mark Perry, who was playing. He was playing Goth Orcs, not freebooter Orcs. So, and he had a couple kill rigs. Kill rigs are pretty good.
Yeah.
So they were first and second. Dark Eldar came in third. It was almost a Dark Eldar final, but both of them got lost in the semifinals. So it was really good. There was a few issues. I already told John. There was an issue with the elevators on day 2, which caused me, Seth from Signals from Frontline, and Aurelia, who helps out. For some reason, we decided to walk up the stairs instead. So we climbed 29 flights of stairs.
No.
Oh.
Nope.
So,
yeah, no.
Personal achievement. Previous record was only 7, and John was there for that one.
Yeah, I was there for that. No, you sleep in the lobby, and when they ask you why, I tell them to fix their elevators.
Luckily, I didn't bring an army. So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I would have just been turning around and going back to the bar.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So we didn't really have any issues. The stream was really nice because it was War Games Live, I believe, was the guy that runs it. It's a one-man show.
Yeah, it was a really good stream.
It looked really good.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of great stuff about him, and the product looked really good too. It was shots were pretty cool, good angles, so very impressive to have a one-man team running that on the production side. In that smooth of a situation. It's pretty impressive.
He had like 13 cameras.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
That's so nuts. That's awesome though.
He even had like little LED lights that he would put inside the terrain so that he could see when you put models inside the terrain. So the little buildings had little lights.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
And I loved all the graphics too, the like John Madden little pen circles and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I mean that's what you need.
He told me it's basically a program that he wrote himself.
Oh,
that whole thing.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, yeah, because the one that like if you get it from somebody who does that, like it's thousands of dollars for those things to hook up properly, and like for you to be able to draw and stuff on there, it's crazy. Those things are really expensive. So
well, and they're so useful for commentating, honestly, especially in something like mini wargaming where like things aren't necessarily moving fast, and so like it's very good for like breaking down and pointing out isolation of units and stuff like that. It was, I know the game, and at times if you just click in on a game and you hear commentating, you're like, I have no idea which, tactical squads aren't a thing anymore, but whatever squad is doing what.
I mean, they're a thing. People just don't use them.
Yeah.
Well, especially since a lot of the camera angles are to encompass most of the table, right? So it's really hard to pick out what the individual units look like from a table height view. So
yeah,
it was really awesome. I watched a couple of the games, and it was really great.
I always prefer when people accidentally draw things that they shouldn't.
Right. Well, like what, John?
Like that SNL sketch with OJ. Where he draws out, I did it.
So, oh my God. Rip Norm Macdonald.
Oh yeah.
Anything else besides elevators?
Well, you know, there was some strange phenomenon where there were people that like forgot to like check a box or check the wrong box in their army list. So there were a few of like, hey, this player said he had this, but when I checked his list, he didn't have it. And then the player like, of course I had it. A couple were warlord traits. One was like the whatever chapter or sacred order they were from. One was like psychic powers. Psychic powers was the big one. People had the wrong psychic powers checked off, and they're using the wrong one during the course of the game.
So it's like cheating.
Then more, I don't know. Depends on your perspective. Things like that.
Yeah,
it depends what table they're at.
I was about as much as I hate to say it, I was about to say that. Like John's kind of right, unfortunately.
Hey, this guy's cheating. What table is he on? 48. And there's 50 tables, and it's round 5.
Yeah.
I don't think he's cheating, guys. I think it's okay. I think it's a mistake.
Weird.
Yeah, there was at least one was pretty. It was like a 4-1 at the time or something like that. Yeah. So, and in this instance, because there was only 100 players more or less, any 5-1s made it into the top 8. So.
Oh well, that's true. That makes sense.
Yeah. So even with this guy at 4-1 was like, well, it looks like you're 4-2 now, buddy. So.
Yeah.
But just that.
I heard they also rolled out some of their cool new terrain.
Yeah. So if you watch the stream had the their new terrain, the Gothic terrain, the pre-painted, pre-printed, because it is still MDF terrain, and in person it looks really good.
Yeah.
And they also had the next set, which is the orc terrain, and that one looks even better than the Gothic one.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy that they can just print it painted like that.
Yeah.
It looks so good. And all I can think of is all of the terrain I have sitting in my garage for my events, our events, and been like,
yeah. There were a few comments of like, we just bought $500 worth of terrain.
Yeah. Builds character.
I mean, builds character. Sure.
We're generating dollars to a small business. I don't know. Whatever.
Fair enough. Whatever. However you want to sell it, right?
Yeah. However it helps you cope with that. Cool.
Yeah. Basically.
So one thing I did want to discuss, and one thing that happened during the event was we had a player basically step away from his game, presumably to go get a beer, but I don't know. But they were gone for a good like 10, 15 minutes. So
that's a lot of beer.
Yeah.
Wow.
So what I did, and when they told me, was basically because they weren't using the clock. So, and this was like game 4. So I basically just put him on the clock.
Yeah.
With his time going, which is funny because that guy hates the clock for some reason.
Oh, I can't imagine why.
That's so
weird. But I don't know, John, how you would have handled it, or what. Well, especially if you're the player, if your opponent all of a sudden steps away, and this can happen in LVO only because of the nature of Vegas.
Yeah.
Whether it's to buy more beer, which has happened before,
sure,
or to that seafood buffet may not be making them feel good. So.
Hey man, there have been people who've stepped away who've literally been like to their opponent, I'm gonna go puke, I'll be back.
Yeah.
So do I have a story for you guys about that one?
Nah, okay, go ahead.
Go ahead.
So that excuse is totally unacceptable. And I'm gonna set this up with a little bit of backstory. So at LVO, can't remember what year. Might have been 2015, 2014.
So the first one.
No.
Second?
The first one was like 2013, I want to say.
Okay.
Anyway, it's like this is second or third LVO. It was in Bally. I think it was the first one in Bally's. And, Buddy, Dan was kind of semi-involved with this trip. So we had just all finished the dinner at Gordon Ramsay's Steak with a group that was probably too big to go. And my buddy tagged along, who was being frugal because we were broke college kids, was complaining he had overpaid for a pork chop that didn't fill him up. And we're walking back to the Bellagio where we were staying.
Oh God, this isn't the White Castle story.
This is the White Castle story. God. So Buddy just disappears and then eventually shows up back at the hotel room. We're like, whatever, he's an adult, which is a generous description. Anyway,
sure.
Shows up with like 12 sliders and proceeds to eat half of them. And at one point, we're all playing a board game, and one of the guys says, "Guys, I'm really sorry, my feet smell so bad." And Dan goes, "I'm pretty sure those are Jack's burgers." And Jack's like, "No, they're not." And so eats like half of these and drinks a bunch of Clamato and V8 and goes to bed. The next morning, it looked like The Hangover. Like Jack had just dead. And he ended up laying under his table for the next round. And he was playing Drukhari back in, that would have been 6th edition, 7th edition. And he literally laid under the table. Frankie actually called me over. He's like, Ben, come here. And like brought me over. Isn't this your boy? And Jack's sleeping under the table with the little trash can he found, vomiting in it, and then getting up, grabbing handfuls of dice and rolling them and saying, "Tell me what they are," to his opponent. And you could see the frustration in his opponent. And initially I thought, oh, it's bad sportsmanship, obviously. And then it was very clear that Jack was somehow winning. And so this opponent is like playing this dude and losing A to Dark Eldar in 7th, B on day 2 of LVO, like to this dude who's just dying on the floor, like just praying to God to end it all. And I just like, all right, there's no excuse for missing a game. Like, you know, you play it out. You play it out.
That's insanity. He's winning.
Yeah,
no wonder the dude looks salty.
Oh, yeah. No, he was furious. And I thought for sure it was like, it's bad sportsmanship. And later someone asked him. He's like, no, he rolled better than me. And he somehow was playing better than me. And like, I don't even remember what the dude was playing.
If you lose to a guy half asleep under a table puking, quit 40K.
Yeah, right. I mean, like, can you imagine?
Well, especially since it's like he's asking you to tell him what he's rolling, right? And how many hits, how many moves. It's like at this point, just lie to the guy.
How honest is that dude? Like that guy deserves a sportsmanship award.
Totally. Like he just earned it in the one game. There's no question.
He got his spot in heaven. As far as
Jack didn't even know. I remember it later. He was like, I don't really remember game 4. I'm like, yeah, because you didn't look at it at all.
You were asleep under a table.
It was unbelievable. I've never seen Frankie laugh so hard.
Oh my God.
So good. Anyways, yeah,
so hope Ben's not your judge because you have no sympathy from him.
No, I would handle it by, if they weren't using a clock, putting a clock on the table and putting on the other player's time.
Yeah, I think that's totally. I think you dealt with that perfectly.
Yeah.
Well, the incentive also was that supposedly the guy didn't like the clock, so that didn't like using the clock. So I'm like,
all the more reason. Like,
yeah.
I mean, you don't get to refuse to use a clock and then walk away from your table for 15 minutes.
Well, he didn't refuse. I think they both agreed or didn't even mention it. They were just going to play, and then all of a sudden he decided to walk away. And I think after like 5 or 10 minutes, they told me.
Right.
And I said, well, just put him on the clock. And then he didn't come back for another like 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah. You don't get to leave the table for that long and then complain that somebody put you on a clock.
Yeah.
Well, the problem is people still are under the impression that clocks like should be optional and all this stuff. And honestly, like, you know, at some point we're just going to have to start treating them like dice and measuring tapes and just expect them. Like,
I mean, a lot of people do.
Yeah, I agree. And, it should be treated that way, but there are TOs that, you know, they don't want to be TOs, they don't want to be judges. They want to be, you know, just the event runners, and they never want to have to be a bad guy.
Yeah. Well, we've talked about that before, like with the ITC code of conduct. Everybody wanted that because nobody wanted to ever make the hard call themselves.
Yeah.
They always wanted to be able to point to the document and be like, no, it's those guys who wrote this. That's their fault. So you can go send them an email if you're mad about what I had to do to you. Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think you made the right call. I would do something very similar. Like you can't just walk away from your table for forever.
I mean, other than that, it wasn't too bad. We like I said, we actually had, counting myself, we had 3 judges for 100 people, which is probably one too many for that many people. Because normally, like our local store, I can run one with 60 people.
Yeah.
So,
well, that's better than SoCal because you guys were 1 too short.
We were 2 for 200 or over 200, something like that.
Oh wow, that's pretty short. Yeah.
And at SoCal, they put the friendly, which apparently I was running, on the opposite ends of the hall. If you ever been to SoCal Open,
brutal.
So I had to run from I had to run from one side of the airport hangar to the other, basically.
You need to get one of those electric scooters for that.
I'll make sure that's in the budget for next year. But it was fun. I had a lot of time. Kicker was there. Leo was there. I had a fun time hanging out with Seth, eating a beignet. Which I shouldn't.
Don't eat the bidet.
Uncultured swine with your head in the bidet.
Chemolier, bidet. You gotta work on your grammar here, pal.
Good Lord, man.
Sorry, it's a Latin tongue. But other than that, it was fine. It was fun. I had a lot of, even with the elevators and all that other stuff, it was still a lot of fun.
So how long did it take to fix the elevator?
You know what? They were still kind of full the next morning. So they were fine when you were going down the elevator, but going to the rooms was taking longer than normal. So there was a large dance competition that day too. I think that probably
dance
helped,
competition.
Yeah,
that's the real reason you were there, huh?
No.
Yeah, dirty dog.
Video doing the dance without him.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
It wasn't the kind of dancing you like.
No.
Oh, unfortunate.
Yeah, it wasn't the kind of dancing.
Oh God.
Oh my God. So it was a lot of fun.
What? But, this is a family-friendly show, right?
There's a reason we're not on the
I guess it's really not a
FGM network.
family-friendly show, yeah.
No, I don't know where you got that idea from. But so lead up to LVO real quick. There's a few reminders, right, John? Or we talked about that yet? Reminders for LVO?
Yes. So for LVO, just a second, I'm trying to pull up my notes. I'm also trying to prove Alan wrong in the chat.
Oh my God.
Which is pretty important.
Yeah. That is.
There we go.
I would interrupt almost any show for that. I don't even know which Alan, but all the Allens I know, I would always stop.
I mean, I feel it's kind of universal with all the Allens that play 40K, right?
Yeah. Please tell me it's PJ.
No. It's her name.
No. That would have been even better.
So some reminders for LVO. The rules cutoff is the 15th of January.
So a month from now, basically.
Yeah. All conversion approvals and lists have to be done by the 17th. So that's 2 days after. So no new rules after the 15th. If you happen to get your shiny new Custodes Codex, Gene Stealer Codex, Tau Codex before then, cool, you can use it. You've only got 2 days to get a legal listing. So if it comes out the 15th.
Or take a yellow card.
Yeah, or take the yellow card. And then this is an important announcement because it's the first time we're making it. It's going to come out also in my article tomorrow and other places on Facebook. If Games Workshop happens to release the new GT missions for 2022, they will not be used at LVO, even if they're before that date. I know there's a lot of people freaking out. A lot of people asking that question because they previewed a couple of the missions in Austin.
Yeah.
No, Dallas. I think the invitations are in Dallas. Even though they previewed a couple,
yes,
it's if they come out right there at that deadline, it's not going to be used. That's too short of a time for everybody to adjust to everything. Generally speaking, new points come out at the same time, and if the lists are due 2 days later and it comes out on the 15th or something, that's just not going to work. So regardless of when it comes out, we are using the latest 2021 GT mission packet for LVO 2022. Okay,
so we get to end the year with
what we used for most of the year.
Yeah, that makes the most sense.
Yeah, I mean, it would be great to be able to use new stuff, but also we have no idea what the time frame is. So I mean, what if it comes out the 13th, 14th, or 15th? Like, that's a really short amount of time. So that's not what the case is going to be. So you don't have to worry about that anymore. So stop sending me emails about it.
Cool. That's the real reason making this. Send them all the emails.
Christmas Day, guys.
I'm sick of answering the same question 10 times a day.
The other thing is, for the rules questions and conversion approvals, we're going to start working on those this week and weekend. So you should start hearing back about them next week if you've sent those in. So be patient. We did not answer anything prior to the New Orleans event.
We specifically said we're going to wait till after. The same with conversions, especially because some people were already asking. Like, I sent my request like yesterday.
Yeah, it's just,
I haven't heard anything. Yet.
It's a tight knit group of judges who work on this for all these events, and we focus on one event at a time because that event is first, and it deserves our full attention and support. So next up is LVO. Yes, LVO is the biggest, so that's why there's the largest lead up time where we answer questions. So those will start coming back to you next week. Any new rulings will be put into that event FAQ that already exists. So if you go, there's a running event FAQ for all FLG events. And you'll start to see LVO specific ones put in there. We will not answer any question that is already answered in there, or any question that's already answered with the GW FAQ.
Make sure to look at the that rundown, and the link should be on Facebook in the Frontline Gaming, our Frontline group.
Yes, that's what it's called. Yes, look there. All that stuff will get posted in my article tomorrow, which will be Friday. All that stuff will be posted in a pinned post in both Competitive 40K on Facebook and the Frontline Gaming community group. So if you're on Facebook, I suggest you get on both those things. If not, I suggest you bookmark the article, so that way you always have it for reference, because it'll have all the pertinent hyperlinks.
Right.
And I think for LVO, that's it. That's all my reminders.
Speaking of events, go ahead, Ben.
I want to add one quick question about pink horrors and whether or not they can summon.
God damn it. I refuse to answer that question on principle.
It's not an FAQ.
They're not characters, so they can't summon. You have to be a character to summon.
No. I feel cheated.
Refuse to answer. If you send that in, we refuse to answer.
You'll get lost in the warp.
My ability to annoy you.
I don't. We've been in enough Facebook groups together. I don't.
Yeah. That's right.
So FLG also released today. I meant to put the graphic in the rotation for the memes, but I didn't.
No.
They released their schedule for the coming season, for next season.
Yes.
And man, it is jam-packed. So Adam, do you want to run through those and then stop on the special one?
It's only 8 events, John.
Only 8 events for 12 months. Yes.
Out of 12 months, yes.
It's only that's 3/4 of the months, isn't it? 75% of the months. Only 75% of the months have an FLG event.
Not 100% yet. Yeah. So, as everyone's already heard, we have the Cherokee Open at the end of February, which I'll be at. And then Memorial Day weekend is Bay Area Open, which I'll be at. And when I mean I'll be at, that means I'll be judging it.
I might be playing that one. That's generally one of the ones I play. I usually play that one, and then if SoCal Open works, I play in it. So...
Atlantic City Open is once again in June. I believe looks like it's the second weekend in June. I don't know if I'll be
in Atlantic City,
and it's in the same place too. So
nice.
I don't know if I'm going to that one.
It's not. Is it in Atlantic City Trump Casino?
No, that was already taken. That was closed.
Oh,
it closed the year after I visited.
But did it failed? That can't be right.
He's such a brilliant businessman.
It's tremendous. It's fantastic. It's really quite something, John. If you'd be there, it'd be a tremendous event. Fantastic. They're one of a kind. Really quite something. Huge. It's a huge 40K event. The biggest 40K event. Everyone says it's LVO. No, they're wrong.
You know, if you did an orange spray tan, I'd almost think that you were him.
You see, I've heard Ben do that before, which is why I was hoping he'd do it. I brought it up just hoping you'd do it. Oh, so good. Thank you, Ben.
Possible guest appearance.
Here for you.
After that is Lone Star Open, which is the third weekend in July. I might go to that. Depends what happens with the other judges. And then in August is a small event, the second weekend in August, I believe, or it goes from the first to the second. But I believe we have a couple people here that can talk more about that, which is why we have Ben and Dan on. So I'll take it over to Ben and Dan. Dan, which event are you running? Well, first of all, go ahead and describe what it is to the audience so that they know.
Okay, so Cruisehammer is on its, like we've done it 3 to 4 times now. We're going on the 5th, but this time specifically, we're partnering with Frontline for running it. Ben's going to talk a little bit more about the 40K side and what we're going to do for that, but I'm just going to talk a little bit about the Cruisehammer experience. So I am involved in doing all of the kind of logistics. Like I make sure that the terrain gets there. I make sure that everybody's kind of taken care of and they're booked in their rooms, along with the travel agent. And then I'm the one that ends up, along with another partner that we have, negotiating with the cruise ships to get the space on the ship and to get the best rates available for all the people who are coming. So, the cruise experience itself it's quite unique. If anybody's never been on a cruise, things that you can expect are Vegas style shows every night included in your package, fine dining every night like steak dinners, duck, lobster night is a very popular one. One of the years that we went, one guy decided he was going to stretch the limit because there is no limit on how many appetizers, entrees, and desserts that you when you're in your fine dining. So
there's one of those guys in every group, Dan. Every group of friends has that one guy who's going to stretch the cruise.
Totally. So at any rate, the one guy on lobster night got, I think it was 16 lobster tails.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
So I believe his veins were literally just garlic butter at that point. That was so. I don't recommend that people stretch that limit because that's probably not healthy. That said, though, that's a kind of style and opulence that you get on a cruise ship. There's an ice skating rink, which they do some afternoons. Your spouses can go and do free skating. We tend to be playing 40K during that time, so there's going to be a little opportunity for you to do that. But there's a casino on board. There's shopping on board. For the actual entirety of the cruise, the convention space is ours for the whole week. So if you want to go and get extra gaming in, you can always do that. Like there's plenty of times where we've sat like just after dinner, we'll go and we'll play like, Cards Against Humanity or Game of Thrones, Settlers of Catan, just to kind of like unwind and stuff before the next night. The drink packages allow you to get your drink on unlimitedly, and that can be fun. Some people take that obviously to extremes. I had one
17 guy lobster situations.
17 lobsters, 18
so
whiskeys,
much on one night
blackout.
That they can't drink the next 2 nights on their drink back because it's so ill. Or you got like somebody like one of the guys had calculated it down to the drink on how many drinks per day he needed to actually consume to make that drink package worthwhile.
Yeah,
I think he said that he hit the drink on day
quick.
3. So
it's not
on
hard.
day 3 he had said I'd broken even. So everything I drink now is.
I've been on the cruise with a guy who keeps the tally mark on his hand, so he knows how many he's done that day, so he knows when he can stop. And I say stop because he could certainly have gone further, even though I think it was 15.
Can stop and should stop. Very different.
And I'll tell you, we will arrange dining time to be the same time for everybody.
Nice.
And then what we do is we get like one section of the dining room assigned to us, and you'll be sitting with the same kind of group of people during your trip with this having the same server, the same basically maitre d'. They'll end up knowing what drinks you like, and they'll actually get you your drink as you're sitting down on the table.
Cool.
And just different kind of stuff like that. So it's a very unique and awesome experience, and it's the most spouse friendly tournament ever.
Yeah.
Because when we go and stop in all the super cool ports like Jamaica or Mexico, there's no gaming during those days, during that time. The expectation is you're going to go out with your spouse and you're going to go and hang out and enjoy these cool places that we stop in on the way. So it's just a really fun experience. It's definitely a unique experience as far as war games go. And it's just something to kind of get your wife or your spouse included in, the kind of the cool stories and the shenanigans that ends up happening on all these war games tournaments. They can actually have a first person account of some of the stuff we get up to. So
very cool.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Back to on some of the highlights that Dan was getting into too. One thing, maybe I misheard it, or missed it, but the pools alone. The pools are so fun. You have the family-friendly pools, and then there's the section of the boat that's more reserved for over 21. And swim, they don't have swim-up bars, but they have a lot of bars right in the area and plenty of hot tubs. And they're open pretty late into the evening, and it's just super fun, And what's really cool about Cruisehammer is so many Warhammer tournaments you go, you meet, you make these friends, and you guys you'll play your game if you're lucky to even get paired up against somebody. Right. And you might go out to dinner in similar circles of groups, and that's kind of your extent of getting to know them. You get these little windows, and maybe you keep in touch on Facebook or whatever. And this is you get a week, you actually get to build much stronger, meaningful friendships, and these amazing memories. Some of the dearest moments I have with God rest his soul, Jeff Robinson. We're on the Cruisehammer he came along on.
Nice.
We, from getting him to rage quit Settlers of Catan, and he did, and Reese was just sitting there well, it's a pretty fun game. And
did you refuse to sell him wheat?
No, I totally boxed him into a corner. And hey, Heather, and he was so angry. I remember him literally saying, "If you put that road down, I will leave." And I just looked him dead in the eye, and even I can even remember my wife was like, "Don't put it down," and I'm like, "He's not gonna leave." And he put it down, and he got up, and I was like, "Oh, I guess he left."
Did you know him well at that point? Because
I did. We had also played Texas Hold'em earlier, and he had bluffed twice. So I'm like, he's in poker mode, and Reese was just so funny. He's like, "Oh, I've never played it before. Wow, this is really easy." And he just had 10 points in 2 turns. But then, there was another time Jeff and I were out drinking and partying with a group of friends, and 2:30 a.m. hit, and we were like, let's play Warhammer. And we went down, played a full game of Warhammer. And, you can do that wild stuff. You can, we have some good friends that their couple time is on the excursions. They go be a couple. They don't hang out with anybody else. They go get their couple time. They come back, and then they're back to hanging out with the group. On the boat, you can go off and do your own thing with the kids, arcades, mini golf, the pools. You can come down and play Warhammer. The wives can all get together and go hang out. There's kind of daycare-ish day camp programs that if you have kids of a certain age, they can go into that, and they start them at age-appropriate activities for a certain window of time. There's a ton of options. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. But that's the glory of it, is that it can be for any speed you want, right? You can play in the tournament. You can bring an army and, play in just open gaming,
nice.
And it's as structured as you want to be. And so that I'll get into then the tournament scene, which we're really excited about doing. So previously, Dan and I also TO other events. One's formerly known as T-Shift. We're in the process of rebranding it to Cascadia Championship. Thankfully, we rebranded right when COVID hit, so we have yet to get to run an event as Cascadia Championship.
That's true.
Everyone just thinks T-Shift is dead. It's not. I promise it isn't. We're located up in the Pacific Northwest, up in Seattle.
Yeah, there's not a lot of tournaments up there either. You guys are well positioned.
We are. Well, there's a couple of really strong ones though. The ones that are up there are strong.
Which ones are up there?
Too. So Bob Kelly's event, like the Harvester, Souls, and
isn't the Harvester is Idaho? He's in Idaho, right?
No, he
Spokane. It's pretty much Spokane, on Washington. The Idaho.
It's right on the border, but I mean, he's still kind of right there with the big one. And then Blue Sky Games has really come onto the scene, especially with Age of Sigmar. So Age of Sigmar is actually growing very strong in the Pacific. I would say Age of Sigmar is one of the best Pacific Northwests.
Yeah. In the Pacific Northwest, you guys have a huge Sigmar following. That's not like we don't have a giant one down here in SoCal, but in the Pacific Northwest, you got a lot of, and you got some of the really good U.S. players up there too.
It's really fun, and it's really fun to beat them and just be like, well, you don't go to tournaments, so you're not actually better than me. And it's like, all right, Jeremy. I mean,
I like it. I like it a
lot. So anyways, we've attached, for years, we've been tying these events to Cruisehammer. Dan also runs Wet Coast up in Canada. Great event as well. That's grown really strong. And we have really good turnouts for 40K and Age of Sigmar. And we have traditionally tried to give away tickets to these events. Part of the problem we've had sometimes at events is we usually gave one to the best general, and then we would also raffle off tickets. So if you came, had an army fully painted, weren't a jerk, and played all your games barring, reasonable travel requirements, we would put you in a raffle, and you could win a free cruise. And that really allowed anyone at our events to win. And at some point we'll bring that back, and I'm sure I'll ask to come back on this podcast and show for it. But it was a way to give out cruise tickets. And so we built up like decent sized tournaments on the boat, 30-ish players, 40-ish players sometimes. The problem was we would have two pretty extreme skill sets. We would have ITC champions and fun casual guys that sometimes had amazing looking armies, or just were like, oh yeah, like I just really like this one goofy list. I brought 12 dreadnoughts, and the field would separate very quickly. So what we're focusing on a lot this year is separating those fields preemptively. We're going to have an ITC league, champion league, and the 40K open. Cool. And so for the invite, we're going to tie it to end of the year ITC performances. And so at LVO, we're going to know the people that we're actually giving away 3 40K cruise tickets to the 3 top ITC players this year.
Nice.
Oh, and we plan on doing that moving forward. And what's very cool is if you're in first place, we also will give you a +1 ticket so that you and a partner or a friend, maybe it's the 4th place person, the 1st place person wants to invite, come along. And we're going to, host an event for the top 8 to 16 players. Or, we'll just invite till we can try and fill out that bracket down to the ITC ranks, and they'll play in their own separate tournament. We're going to try and have it streamed. It's a little tricky with boat internet, but at the very least we'll record it pretty high quality, try and do some editing, some fun commentary on it. And then we'll have the open event. And those will probably be running simultaneously, give people a chance to, have a good competitive game in the open and still have a fun, tight competitive game in the championships. And, you don't have to just roll in, get raffle stuff and be like, well, I'm just going to drop that. And, if you want to drop still, that's fine too. But, so that opens up some opportunities. We also are going to have an Age of Sigmar tournament. I've really come to love the game Age of Sigmar, and we really, honestly, will have any gaming that you want to do. And what's really nice, so we'll bring the mats. Dan does a great job with his wife, Heather, doing the logistics of getting, we bring the tables, we bring the mats, we have the train all down there, and we'll have it all set up. We maintain it, and it's wham bam, thank you, man. You show up and you play. Bring an army, come have fun. And I think that is what sets our events off. We're trying to make it the premier gaming experience for all levels of play, for all sizes of family. If you want to be the goofy wacko party guy, perfect. And if you are a family, awesome pitch. And the thing too to stress is this is a lot more of affordable of a trip. It's a better return on investment than almost any other tournament, right?
Yeah.
So some of our entry tickets are about $700 American. And if you're thinking a 7-night cruise, that's a bed. This is per person. Yeah. So that's a bed and all the food you can eat, plus a ton of amenities. And an all-you-can-drink package, I think they run about $400-ish bucks, $450 American. So for about $1,100, all you can eat, all you can drink, a bedroom on a ship with pools, tons of amenities, what have you. And it's not just bars, right? There's really nice coffee shops, there's juices, there's these giant soda machines all over the place. So this is really, it's kind of nice as you kind of fire and forget on your check almost. You pay it all at once and you go. It's not like LVO where you got to wake up, you come back after your trip and you're like, oh man, that was brutal. Not that I still love LVO, but I think we all know the after effect that it's never as, take your budget and double it. That's what I always tell people the first time they go to LVO.
Right. Yeah.
But anyway, so that's our focus, is really bringing a premier cool style event that fits all styles of play and growing a focus on kind of the talent of the ITC and 40K, as well as creating a fun, open gaming experience that's still tournament and structured for all other levels of play beneath it. And we'll have cool awards, and we have some fun swag coming out, and Go Boy really did a fantastic job on the art. And we're really pleased to partner with Frontline to bring this in with them, grow some opportunities for the event. And it's just awesome, fun. I mean, you can come and not play. Like Reese, 1 year just didn't even bring an army, much to everyone's annoyance. Yeah. And that's fine, like that, come and hang out. It's still an awesome cruise with a bunch of your friends. And it'll be an amazing time. I've never heard someone go on it and say, yeah, I don't think I'm going to do that again.
Yeah, it's like usually it's when are you going next? Yeah.
When are you going?
Yeah. So inside rooms, the lowest room is $723.70 US, and that includes all of the port taxes and fees. That's basically all in to get your room and all of your food and stuff like that. So
cool.
Okay. So I mean, you're thinking,
for 7 days for a full week, yeah.
So it's, go find a more affordable vacation for that level of quality. Yeah, I just don't think it can be done. Now, you do have to get yourself to Galveston, Texas, but we also do things too. Like traditionally, we have gotten it. Most of the time we've gone out of Florida. If you come in the night before, we'll have a plan for like a hotel because we know people are traveling from all over. We usually have a hotel everyone picks, and then we try to coordinate a shuttle or a bus to get everybody onto the boat at the same time. And that helps keep things coordinated, keep it a fun event. We try to put people in blocks together on the boat. It's really highlights the point of it as being more almost like a convention, that you're just building these relationships for a whole trip with some Warhammer in it and other games too. Like, you see a guy playing AOS and you're finally like, all right, fine. I got a whole week, no real responsibilities. Show me what this is all about. Prove to me it's actually better than 40K, and or whatever, right?
Sure.
Like,
yeah, of course.
X-wing, whatever.
What?
It's exactly what it's about.
X-wing.
Right. Well, allegedly, the game formerly known as X-wing.
Got it. Okay.
Oh wow. Probably talking about Armada then.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, that too. But we do have a guy. He just absolutely loves Armada. So, but anyways, yeah. So that's our. Yeah, I know. I felt really bad. My wife bought me the box when it came out because she heard me talking about so much. Oh, the ships are so cool, and like X-wing was okay, but like capital ships are so cool. And I tried to play Firestorm Armada and stuff, and then she got it for me, and I think I opened it one time and didn't even get to play it, and then it just sat there for forever, and we resold it, and I think. My wife's like, all right, that's the last time I'm buying you a brand new game. If you buy a brand new game, you have to buy it. So
I bought the Separatist fleet when it came out because I thought it looked cool, and then they said, oh, we're not going to develop anything anymore. So I have the entire fleet, which is 5 ships. So
wow, that's big. Anyways, yeah, we really appreciate you guys also letting us come on here and pitch the event. And part of why, too, we think it fits well with this podcast is growing it, the partnership with Frontline and tying it more with the ITC. And there's some fun opportunities that the ITC may have going forward that we think Cruisehammer will fit well into as well.
Right.
Cool. For sure.
Yeah. Plus, Tom never shows up, so we need to fill his space.
That's also true. This is also true.
Right. And that's what we're here for. So
I'm sure Ben will be available anytime. He loves coming on these things.
He loves talking. I know. Dan's only talked for like 5 minutes. Ben's been on for like 30 minutes at least.
Well, he is a politician, so
I did take a nap.
People love hearing themselves talk. So.
Nice. Very true.
So
it's such a beautiful noise.
After Cruisehammer, which lasts as long as about Ben was talking right now, we have the team tournament is back in Vegas in September, which I'm pretty sure I'll be judging that one too. And then SoCal Open, which I'll probably be judging that one too. And
I should be playing that one. That's also, again, a weekend I can go.
That's the weekend before
Halloween.
Halloween, yes.
As long as it's before Halloween, I can go.
You can see John. Hopefully, you can see Danny again in all his glory, like last time on day one.
Oh, he was okay. He was quasi well behaved, right? He only tried to pick one person up.
Yes.
Yeah. Oof. Hey, the team event was really fun, Adam. I thought you did a great job at that one.
Okay, thank you. The team event was fine. Most of the events are actually, pretty okay. Most of the people are able to regulate themselves, so usually not too bad.
Even in Vegas, some people can regulate themselves.
Even in Vegas,
right? That's what's the impressive part. About
some people.
Yeah. Dan caught it.
Yeah. Some people have too much White Castle.
Yes,
that's right.
You did say
my biggest complaint though about the team event is there was no team AOS event. So I hope that changes in the future.
Yeah,
that's a kicker thing. That's not me.
So there's a notable absence from New Orleans from that picture.
Yeah,
and that concerns me because I
wasn't
able to go this year, and I really wanted to go next year.
Was there Sigmar at New Orleans?
Yeah, there was
8 players. I heard
there was Sigmar, there was Legion, and X-Wing.
We established that one of those 4 things isn't a thing.
Well, you mean Kill Team? Because there was Kill Team, but only one person signed up.
Oh no, that's brutal. Did they sign up and come?
No, it was canceled before that.
Okay,
Kill Team guy. Kill Team's not bad.
It's okay.
No, Kill Team's cool.
Yeah, I like Kill Team. It's cool.
Oh, it's fun.
I think if more people gave it a chance,
I don't feel like it's a competitive game though. I don't know if I'd be going to a Kill Team tournament.
40K, very competitive.
Well, yeah, okay, that's true.
Excuse me, this is a competitive Warhammer 40K podcast.
All right. I'm caught.
Did I do that?
I'm just
I didn't mind Kill Team, the formatting, the layout of the rulebook was killing my buzz.
I really wish that Warhammer Underworlds took off as a competitive thing.
Oh man, those models were so cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I play it online. I play Underworlds on Steam. I love that game.
We can do. You could probably do a LAN party at LVO and just do Underworlds through that.
I mean, no.
Sounds like a good use of John's time on that trip.
Not sound like a good use of my time at all. If I'm not judging 40K, I'm going to be drinking and eating food.
I didn't mean for John. I just mean for everyone else. If we want more people playing Underworlds,
maybe hanging out at a craps table every now and then.
Maybe.
Yeah, there you go.
Poker takes too long. I can't sit at a poker table at LVO because
don't you bash my game.
I'm too tired. No, I love poker. I love Texas Hold'em. Absolutely love it. But at LVO,
let's play sometime, John.
We should. Absolutely. But at LVO, I rarely ever get to play because by the time the night is done, the time day is done, I'm tired, and then we go out and we eat and we drink, and then I'm like, I'm gonna go to sleep.
Next thing you know,
that's what coffee is for.
I guess.
No, 2 a.m. is the perfect time to go play poker.
Oh yeah, all the fish are tired and giving up their money.
The fish are tired and they're hammered.
Yeah,
and you find like, there's the 3 sharks at this table, and I will not open against those guys.
Not gonna play a pot there. And There's more than one Vegas trip I've gone on where I've basically financed the whole thing the first night by going out at like 2 or 3 in the morning to like one of the big poker rooms on the strip. Well, Caesars used to have a big poker room on the strip, not anymore. But you go there,
it's okay,
and you sit down, and they're totally drunk, and like you just sit there and you're like sober. You have to be stone cold sober to do it.
Right, absolutely.
Coffee, you sit down and you're
iced
like,
coffee.
Boom! I'm gonna sit down with this $300, and I'm gonna leave here with a couple of grand, and I don't have to worry about this trip anymore.
Oh yeah,
done.
Yep, that's the way to go.
There's your LVO tip of the week.
Be good at poker.
We'll have one every episode leading up to LVO.
Take advantage of drunk people. Only at the gaming table. Crap.
Damn it. You said it before.
Only at the gaming table.
We did actually explain the sainthood of the guy who was being totally honest on giving Ben's buddy the dice rolls, right? So,
find out on the next TFG Radio.
Now that John's true colors shows up, he's like, John would not have been that guy.
I wouldn't have been. I'd be like, you failed all those rolls, you lose.
I totally, I'd be like, you know what, whatever. They're all misses.
I would have called the judge as soon as he laid under the table. What the fuck is this?
Hey, he's at the table. He's there. That where the rule book doesn't say you can't lay under the table.
God.
Yeah, there was no code of conduct yet.
Yeah, this is pre-code of conduct.
Yeah.
And a reason for the code of conduct.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the Las Vegas 2023.
Well, you better put it in there.
It's in there. It's the same time, last weekend in January. So I get to miss my brother's birthday. Great. And I mean that sincerely. I don't want to go to his birthday.
No, we all know.
I'm hoping that the New Orleans is happening again, and they just haven't signed the contract yet. That's what I'm hoping.
Hope is good.
I'm hoping
That's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah.
Hope is the first step on the road to disappointment.
Do not trust a hope. It has forsaken these lands.
We're past this, John. We're past Lord of the Rings quotes tonight.
Nope. Never past Lord of the Rings quotes. I will never grow up.
So speaking of the new year, after since this is the last show of the year, we'll start with Dan. Dan's one of our newer guests and his first time on the show. Well, both Ben and Dan, but I don't know Dan. So, Dan, what are your plans for the new year? Not personally, because we don't really care. Just for gaming wise.
Yeah. No, I've got some Drukari models that I'm gonna start putting together and building an army. It's not meta chasing. I've got some 3rd edition models that I'm trying to update and kind of get some new models basically to replace my old stuff.
Nice.
I have been mostly playing Necrons, and they've been fun, but I want to give the Drukari another go. So
nice. Very cool.
Ben?
Yeah, I wouldn't even say I'm cautiously optimistic about Custodes. I'm I don't know. I hope they're at least fun. I like the idea of taking units that are not just Forge World units potentially. So we'll see how that goes.
That would be nice, right?
Yeah, I'm not banking on it. My army will still probably all be Forge World except for the 3 characters I bring. But it'll be fun to play with it, have a new book, and kind of dig into it and see if we can find out any combos in it. I'm really loving Age of Sigmar in case my subtle jabs haven't landed. I played both Oryx and Stormcast Eternals, so AOS has been very fun for me right now, as my 2 books were the first ones.
Did you get the dragons?
Yeah, I just got it. I am one of those guys that think the dragons are fun and good. They are definitely overhyped, and people fear them excessively, in my opinion.
They are dragons.
They're super cool. They're very cool. They're fun, good models. I think they're much more of a different tool. I don't know. I think a lot of people try and jam them in as like a square peg into a round hole. And use them like a sledgehammer, which I don't think they function that way in the Stormcast army at all. But they're really cool. They're really great effective support unit. The models are gorgeous. The big ones are really cool. And, the Stormcast range is kind of bloated, especially with characters. But the problem is that every model still looks really cool. It's a fun game, and it's a really good time for the faction. So, yeah, that's what I got on my docket.
Just as long as you're not going to play that stupid army with the sea turtles, you're fine in my book.
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen. My wife though is really having fun with the cow elves. That's what she's all about.
I like the cow elves.
Dude, she loves them so much. She only takes the cow elves and the foxes and then the giant cows, and she's got them all Scottish themed. She's like painting tartan patterns on the back of their. I mean,
good God,
it's embarrassing to put my armies out next to hers because hers look phenomenal. I mean, and everyone always made fun of her pink glitter ones, but like the technical painting on it is quite actually good. Like
I like
freehand
the
on
pink
the flowers and the unicorns and stuff. Yeah. Oh yeah, and you can always tell what tables she played on.
Yes, you could.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Cool.
All right, John, what do you got going on?
Well, I need to finish the TFG Radio Eldar army that Tom started painting last year. So I'm going to try to get that finished. And then I should probably try to finish the TFG Necron army, but I'm not really that motivated for that.
Really? All that new core is not getting you motivated?
I don't know. I mean, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. If I can put together like a list I think is decent, and decent Necron players we talk to often say it's decent, then I might get motivated to do it. The Eldar I really like because the paint scheme is totally different than anything I've done before.
Right.
So that actually has me excited to paint just because it's so different. Whereas the Necron scheme, I've done tan armies like 3 times.
Okay.
So it's not as exciting. And then I definitely want to aim for playing Barrie Open and SoCal Open as my 2 big 3-day events. And then I want to try to make our local events to play in at least 2 of the 4. So I played in 1 of the 3 we had this year. Yeah. I'd like to play in 2 of 4 that are local.
Okay.
So those are my goals for the year.
Hopefully, whenever the book comes out, the points adjustments for Necrons will make them more playable.
If they get some spicy point adjustments, they might be pretty decent.
Here's open.
Yeah, for sure. What about you, Adam? What are you doing next year? Sitting on your butt, judging a bunch of events?
Other than judging, like, I think this year I judged 6 GT events, 7 maybe. I don't know. I think next year it'll probably jump. Even if I take 1 or 2 off, or I think it still jumps to like 7 or 8 GT level events. So we'll see. We'll see. Well, I mean, most of them are local. I mean, I only had to fly. Well, actually, no.
Most of them are local.
Well, I mean, I can just drive to like BAO or the Las Vegas one.
And SoCal, you drive to that one too.
SoCal, so that's already like four events, and then there's our local GTs. The 2 I run with Battle for LA and.
So did we fly to the same number? Because I judged GW's Orlando and GW's New Orleans.
I flew to because I only flew to Atlantic City and New Orleans.
Cool. So we flew to the same vest. I'm just as good as you. Stop trying to make yourself better.
No, I'm better because I judge more events.
I'm gonna have to lean with Adam on this one.
What the fuck?
And Ben is never invited on again.
I like this timeline.
Adam's gonna invite me all the time.
Oh yeah, no technical difficulties. Ben's link's not working. Crazy. Funny how that works. Oh, I can't hear him.
Yeah, no, Ben got that rule wrong. I don't know. That's so weird.
I'm gonna walk over to the Age of Sigmar part of LVO and be like, okay, so Ben's getting a red card. He played a rule wrong. You don't even know these rules. Doesn't matter. I'm a judge. It says it on the shirt.
Yeah, it doesn't say a judge of what.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, I am the law.
Because we don't know what events Games Workshop is having yet or where.
No, they haven't made any announcements about that. So,
but for me, if I go to the ones I think I'm going to go to, I think I'm flying like 3 or 4 times this time.
Mm-hmm.
So,
cool.
Not a big fan of flying in general. So, So we'll see how that goes.
They're faster.
Well, yes, but I don't know.
Fly Spear. Watch fights.
I actually do fly Spear.
Yeah, so you get some.
But no fight. I haven't seen any fights.
Well, you should complain to customer service.
That there's no fights or not enough fights.
I was promised fights on this flight.
Your social media president promised that there would be fights.
I know. According to the internet, there should be fights.
The internet's never wrong.
Yep.
Excuse me, sir. According to the 4chan thread I read about your company.
So in between flying to different exotic locations, I do have the Thousand Suns I'm still playing with. I'm actually 2-0 in our league.
Nice.
So far, 3 more games to go. But I was just hoping just to win 2 games, so I'm already there.
Your list is more brutal than just winning 2 games. 20 Scarab Occult Terminators are good.
20?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's 2 bricks of 20. No, 2 bricks of 10. Yeah.
And you run the cult where they can teleport themselves to other places.
Cult
on the board,
of duplicity.
Right? Yeah, that's
I can't see myself playing any other cult.
The 2 bricks of that, and then the brick of 10 dudes with the flamers is just gross.
Yes. In a drop pod, in a Dreadclaw.
I mean, I don't care with my knights. Whatever, I'll still kill you.
Yeah, your knights don't care.
I don't give a shit.
If I go first, I can maybe kill 1 big knight.
Dude, my
which might be enough.
Custodes are just like, oh, cool, Thousand Suns. Let's just go get a beer.
Yeah.
I did enjoy the game with Tom, and not because I beat him, but mainly because I beat him.
Because on turn 1 you'd killed like half his army in points. Because
I killed the Land Raider
14 4-up saves.
Well, that's not my fault. That's his fault.
That's his dice's fault. I mean, I gave him Forge World Ultramarine dice he could be using. But instead he rolls those weird Chessex orange things he likes.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I killed the Land Raider and his 8 Terminators on turn 1 because they were all isolated. They're all by themselves. He had them out by themselves.
Never have I ever been so insulted when I bring home Forge World Ultramarine dice and that bitch still uses that brick of Chessex orange ugly ass dice that don't match his army in any way, shape, or form.
I'll tell you what.
And proceeds to roll 14 failed saves on a 4-up.
That's what you get.
If you steal him back, John, I'll take him because my second 40k army is Ultramarines. I promise I'll use them.
There's 2 things I enjoyed about the game, though. One, which I mentioned to you, John, and Jeff when he was there, was I take the Warp Reaver mantle.
Yeah.
Which, if you don't know, basically when you roll a charge against the character, if you roll a 9 or better, unmodified 9, the charge fails.
Right.
And so twice, was it twice? I think he 3 times. Yeah, 3 times he rolled. He tried to charge once with a chaplain, and he rolled a 9, and then he re-rolled it into an 11.
And he only needed like a 2.
He needed like a 2, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but before that, I played a strat. He tried to shoot at the guy with his chaplain, but there's a strat that lets me use that you can't shoot at a character if there's any Rubikai within 3 inches, and it doesn't matter if they're in close combat or not, and it doesn't matter if it's less than 3 models, and it's only 1 CP.
It's a good one.
So I used
strat. It's situational.
Wow, so dumb.
So I used that so he couldn't shoot at him, and then he failed the charge. I survived the assault because he assaulted them with something else. I survived that, and then I used the magic fly away power to fly away.
To yeet yourself.
That's amazing.
Yeet myself right out of trouble.
Oh my god. Yep. It was amazing. It was good. It was a lot of fun for me.
That relic is pretty frustrating. I failed 2 charges in our game with my knights, right? I was trying to charge that guy twice. And I'm like, cool, I only need a 5. 12.
It's
awesome.
It's funnier when they use the reroll.
Yeah,
it's funnier when they use the reroll.
Reroll, yeah. All right.
It's very situational, but it's worth it. So I'm sticking with the Thousands for now. I'm sticking with that build for now.
It's a good build.
The army build I have right now, which with the 20 Terminators and all that other fun stuff. And it's funny because we talk about Danny's new hotness with the Tyranids.
Yeah.
which is, if you look at the rumors, is the -1 damage thing. And it's funny because my army doesn't care because they only do 1 damage. Most of their stuff only does 1 damage. It's just a high AP on the weapons. So I'm looking for that, building up a few things, but nothing. I have nothing else planned besides still playing with 1,000 Suns and judging a bunch of events. So
cool. All right.
I think that's it for at least so far. And I'm not gonna regale you with the historical part because I know nobody cares.
Nope.
I mean, I'm on the wrong podcast for that.
You sure as fuck are.
Don't be jealous, John.
With friends like this.
Well, we're going to be playing Flames of War soon, so.
Hey, Adam, I see a bunch of Sons of Bahamut in the background. You should switch to a real game.
Damn.
You know what's funny is I have to build one more model, and then the army's done, and then I'll just sit there for another year probably.
No, like you got to play them while they're still good. They're gonna.
I know.
They're gonna.
I know.
You're running out of time.
I picked the army because it was only 8 models when I built it in the.
And they're just sitting there.
And they're at least half of them are at least primed.
That's
baby steps for me. Too busy judging events, non-AOS events,
and very important podcasts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Super important.
Yeah, I'm making the time to show up to the podcast, unlike some people.
That's true.
Who aren't named Danny.
That's a good segue into the contest update.
Yeah, so speaking of which, we still have the contest going on. It is the Where is Tom? It's still the year of Tom. I decided. The year of Tom is not ending until Tom does at least 26 episodes. He's only at 4. I think 4 or 5. 5.
He's a 5 now.
5. I think it's 5. He's only done 1 episode since we shamed him at SoCal Open. And that was at the end of October. So that was like almost 2 months ago.
Yeah.
So if you haven't yet, it's our annual haiku contest. And this haiku this year is basically where was Tom, or what happened to Tom. So just send your haiku to TFG Radio Podcast at gmail.com. And it could just be anything. And if you don't know what a haiku is, it's basically a 3-line
Don't tell them. Google exists.
With
figure it out.
5 syllables, 7 syllables, 5 syllables. I assume everybody just doesn't know and is lazy. So
pearls to swine. Figure it out, peasants.
So send those in. You get gift certificates to either Gameology Games, which is our local store here in Old Town Pasadena. You just go to gameologygames.com and check out their online store. They'll ship to basically anywhere, and you can get gift certificates there, or we can get it for Hammerhead Games at hammerheadgames.net, and because they are our other sponsor, and they have been. I've talked to Tony about sponsoring the event. He said he's fine with it. The contest. That's one contest. Then the other contest is our 100th episode. Our 100th Twitch episode is coming up. Should be the show just before LVO. We've done over 200 episodes since the show started, many moons ago. Back at the second LVO, which was the one at the Flamingo.
Yeah,
if you remember that one.
Yep, I think that one was amazing.
I think it was the second one.
Yeah, that was the one I didn't go to.
Yeah, that's why it was great.
That's what I said. Okay, I know we're making fun of me for I talked a lot, but I have a great story about that LVO.
Go ahead.
We are the Tangent Podcast. You are free to do it.
All right, cool. Hey, if you guys invite me on 5 more times, and can I just replace Tom? Because I'll come. I
can't wait for him to listen to this.
It's a possibility. I'll keep that on the table.
Yeah, man, for sure. I got a good buddy who likes to pick up those adult trading cards, we'll call them, that are all over the strip. And puts them everywhere. And this was and this is his tradition. And for years, this has continued. He tries to hide them all in my stuff. Story. And I stayed up way too late playing poker and drinking, which is unlike me at LVO. Yeah. Woke up the next morning and I was decided to play in the Horus Heresy event, and I had barely really played Horus Heresy, but I had the stuff and spent way too much money on it. Wanted to use it. Super hungover, trying to remember a rule. I crack open the rule book, and like, I don't think I'm exaggerating when like 200 of these cards come dumping out of my rule book all over the table, just knocking over models and like crashing the train. And I mean, it's like a gale force wind, and they just cover the table. And I'm just sitting there, like rubbing my head, like wanting to be anywhere else. And I'm just like, I did not put those in there. And he was like, and I could tell he was just like, I really didn't think you did. And just, yeah. And to cap it all off, I wasn't even thinking about it. On that same trip then, we were going back through TSA, and my backpack got pulled out of line. And the guy's like, have you packed this bag yourself? Everything in it's yours? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, all right, well, there's kind of weird stuff in there. And he opens it up. And again, about 2,000 of these things spill out all over the floor. Like, I mean, I don't understand how this backpack was even closed. And they're just everywhere. I mean, just however much you think there was on the floor, add more. And I'm just like sitting there mortified. And what do I just tell this guy? Like, yep, I packed it myself. And I took all my self-control to just, I eventually just had to come clean. I'm like, I did not put those in there, and I understand that you have to search the whole thing now. And he's like, yeah, sorry, man. And I just kind of started picking them up, and the guy's like, yeah, you don't have to do that. And I was like, thank you very much. And it's just, I mean, there's a line of like 100 people behind me, and I was just mortified. And
that's amazing.
Yeah,
that's why I did the TSA pre-check.
Yeah, that's why I have TSA pre-check now. That is exactly
for sure. So they don't see all your crazy business cards, quote
unquote. Oh my god! I did
the person who does this is going to love listening to this story.
He lives for it.
Off air, we need to know who this is so I can avoid him at all costs.
Oh no,
it's Ben's wife.
You'll never know. No, it's not my wife. She's not that creative. I love her, but she would never be this creative. She had one hidden in her Stormhawk or not Storm or
Stormraven,
yeah. Space Marine gun.
Stormraven.
Thank you. And a year later, we were playing a practice game, getting ready to go to LVO, and like the door dropped open. A year later, and she's like, "What is that?" And she like
just an FYI, the same person put that in Jessica's Storm.
Did one in her Stormraven, and like just her getting practice before LVO, she found it in there. Like,
oh boy. That's insanity.
So anyways, our contest, the second contest, we're giving away prizes for the 200th episode for one for the Patreon members, one for the Facebook people on our Facebook page, and one for the actual listeners during that episode.
We sure give away a lot of shit on this podcast. Is our accountant approved all this?
I don't know, because our technically our accountant is never on our show when he's supposed to be.
Which is funny because I'm the one with the accounting degree and I refuse to use it.
Thank God for
the way things are in our show, it's like you have the IT degree.
It's true. I do. I should have probably done that with my life, but it's okay.
That's all right. So listen on our. I think this one is episode 98, January 6th, which is the Tom episode, which Tom should be on, although it would be funnier if he's not going to be on.
It would be, yeah.
Is our Tom the haiku episode, and then the one after that, which I believe is the 20th, will be the fan appreciation episode and 200th episode, 200th Twitch episode. I think we're at like two. If you count the bonus episodes, I think we're in the 220s or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
So. It's a lot of work, a lot of fun, a lot of good memories. So be sure to listen to that. We'll have the prizes. Once we have the prizes in hand, because I don't want to say what the prizes are in case we don't get them in time.
Correct.
then we'll give more information.
Which is a decent hint of what the prizes are.
Yeah, but you never know.
You never know.
Oh. Give away John's mannequin from last episode.
It's not my mannequin to give away.
Whatever, John.
I can't give away my wife's dress for him.
Mannequin, inflatable companion, whatever you want to call it, John. It's fine.
Whatever you're gonna say.
It actually got moved. It's over there now.
Yeah, sure. It's in your bedroom.
Yeah,
yes,
weird. It got moved for this episode. That's
no.
That's not the mannequin. You check out this guitar. Yeah.
That guitar's been there the whole time.
If
anybody pays attention to the Twitch stream, they'll notice the room is actually quite different because we redid the whole thing and my kids have partially invaded the room. No, my kids partially invaded the room. The giant desk over there where I normally paint is gone. All my paint shit is now shoved in here with this one. And there's a TV over there now and all the kids' Nintendo Switch bullshit. Sucks. Fucking office became the game room. But the game rooms includes my kids. And not a 40K table.
Not a 40K
If there was a 40K table back here in the game room, then it would be more of a game room.
I love having a table up in my room.
Yeah. I'm pointing to all this shit behind me like a jackass, but I don't have this screen up. I have the memes going on Twitch.
That's fantastic. That's even better.
Okay, see, no mannequin, no 40K table, bunch of BS for my kids.
Yeah, because you have a green screen up. Of course you can't see it.
Next time, if you are willing to have us on again and talk about Cruisehammer again, we should give you a bunch of Cruisehammer pictures to put up instead of the memes.
Absolutely, we can do that.
I should have thought about that.
No, we can do it when it gets closer to when you guys are like gonna push for sales, for sure.
Well, this is kind of the start because it helps us.
This is the initial push.
Yeah, just tell us the month you want to do it. You can come on. No problem.
Maybe after LVO when we're pushing for invitational.
Cool. No problem.
Yeah. There you go.
Absolutely.
See, Tom won't be on, so you don't have to worry about it.
No.
So a bunch of listener, a bunch. We have one Patreon question. If you're in the chat and you have a question, go ahead and ask. The question is from Dan from Van Nuys, who asking if we're going to do a 2-hour deep dive on the Crusher Stampede, which is the new Regiment of Renown
for NIDS.
For NIDS, yes, it's in the White Dwarf that's out this week.
I feel like if Danny's not on the show, we can't do a deep dive into NIDS because none of us know what the hell any of that is except for him.
Yeah, supposedly it's really good.
Yeah.
So if we do,
it looks really good.
If we do that episode, then it's basically just Danny talking for 2 hours.
That's fine. I can take a nap.
Yeah, or we can just have Dan record it on his own and just put it up like that. That might be easier.
That works.
Although it might get a little creepy towards the end.
It does look really good. That release looks pretty solid.
It really does.
Yeah.
And I mean, at this point, it can only help.
Right? Like, I can't imagine how they could possibly hurt that faction at this point.
Hey, the faction's fine, dude. They won the New Orleans Open. That book is really strong.
It's fine.
Only 6 Hive Guard. It doesn't need fixing.
And GW already told us everything's fine in the last Meta Watch article, right?
You guys are John is not getting invited back to judge anymore. GW.
I haven't said a word. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm getting invited back, no problem. I've said
that's why John is not saying anything because he wants to get to get invited back.
Yeah, all you gotta do is go back a couple episodes. No,
I feel like there's been a problem. I feel like there's been a problem with data in this country since about midway through 2015.
Yeah, right. Well before that, pal.
I mean, yeah, but it wasn't as noticeable. Okay, let's stop this before we get into politics and get banned from Twitch. And
really? Before we bring back
a Trump impression is not politics; it's comedy. And if people can't handle things that are funny, they shouldn't listen to podcasts.
It's parody,
especially this podcast, because we're funny as hell, and they can just deal with it.
Tremendous.
Oh my god, it was pretty funny.
I should have had the camera on when you did that because you had some of the mannerisms too. It was great.
Yeah.
So look for that bonus episode.
If you come to Cruisehammer, there'll be as many of those as you want.
All right, I think that's it right there. I don't know what else I put down. Yeah, I already gave the sponsorship spiel.
Yeah.
GameologyGames.com, which now has a GT coming out in February.
It should be the first multi-day GT of the new season in SoCal.
Yes, I specifically told them not to call it a GT.
Right, because those delineations are going away probably.
Yes.
Yeah, they're totally gone. Yeah.
So for those that don't know, and
we can still call them grand tournaments because it's it's a tournament that exists, but
it's just a cool title, honestly.
It is. Yeah, it's a cool title. Yeah. You should use it. It's a good title. People should continue to use it. Just understand it does not affect the algorithm for your scores.
Yeah. Right. And for those that don't know,
stop fudging the numbers of people at your events.
Basically, the way the scoring is going to go after LVO is there will no longer be the RTT, GT, Major GT, Super Major benchmarks.
Yeah.
It's just however many people you have, how many rounds you play, no matter how many days. And more importantly, you get your 6 scores no matter what. There's no requirement to go to a GT or a Major to get your 6 scores. Because this year, I was mentioning to John, I'm going to be short 1 score because I haven't played in a Major GT this year.
Yeah.
So
I did, though. Ha.
Yes, you did, John.
And actually, that was my best showing in a tournament this year.
Well, considering you only played in like 2 tournaments, yes.
No, I played in 4. I played in 4. I played in 2 RGTs, 1 GT, and a Major.
He's amazing.
No, I'm terrible.
Which other GT?
But I went 4-2 at SoCal Open, so that's fine.
Yeah, he went 4-2 at SoCal.
I'm okay with that.
He should have gone 5-1, but whatever.
I should have, but mistakes happen.
I was just so afraid to eventually play John after talking like all this passive aggressive trash and just be like, "Oh yeah, Custodes still can't beat Knights," and just get whomped.
There was a time when when I was undefeated against John, so
there was a time, and that time has passed.
Yeah, but I still have more wins against you.
That's all that matters, baby.
If you don't have proof, that doesn't exist. If you don't have the category,
you don't have proof that I don't.
Then you can just shove it.
Don't be sad, John. It's okay.
I'm not sad. I'm mad.
Speaking of sad, unfortunately, the show's going to be over.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to thank you guys for having us on.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us on. Super fun.
That's no problem. Tom was never here.
Glad to have you guys on to promote Cruisehammer. Cruisehammer sounds amazing.
We hope to get you guys there.
From the stories Reese told me.
Oh, man, Reese. I'm going to tell you someday the stories Reese didn't tell you because
fair enough.
Those are even better.
I'm sure they are. I'll have to tell those ones off the air, right?
Yeah. Off the air.
Okay, cool.
Can't do my boy like that.
All right.
So I think we'll call it here real quick before we leave. Ben, you have any last words or last words of encouragement, whatever, besides go to Cruisehammer?
I was literally about to be that, but
yeah,
just have fun, roll dice, enjoy the holidays, spend time with your family. The world's been a tough, crazy place right now, so enjoy your friends and your family, and eat too much, drink too much, and have fun.
I like that last part a lot.
Yeah.
That was inspirational, Ben. Appreciate it.
Dan, baby. Anything for the masses out there?
Yeah, happy holidays, and totally. Just keep rolling dice. 40K has been pretty fun. So that's all I got.
John, anything to tell the huddled masses for the end of the old year?
Yeah, we'll send out the search party and find Tom soon. Don't worry.
Wow, that costs money though. I don't know.
His money.
Volunteers,
I guess. No. I don't know if people like him enough to volunteer to do that.
Jesus,
let's be honest.
Holy shit!
Ben's going to be the new person on the podcast just because Tom's going to quit
after
listening to this episode.
Tom won't quit. He's like Butters. That's why he's Butters. Tom is the Butters of our show.
Yeah, I definitely come back after getting called Butters.
He's called himself.
He knows.
Butters. He even does Butters impressions, and they're pretty good.
Oh, shucks, guys.
He has the hair, everything. It's uncanny. Well, everybody, another year, fabulous show. Thank you everybody for listening. As always, hopefully you guys have a safe and happy holidays. We'll see you next year in the new year, and we'll announce the winners of the Tom Haiku contest. Again, thank you everybody. Thanks everybody for listening. Good night, and have a pleasant tomorrow.